What's up, everyone? This is Black Sports Jedi Kev at the airport. Couple hours after Slammiversary, I'm still positive with that finish of the main event. Don't know what TNA's creative is thinking having Mike Santana go over or not go over and trick with that angle. I don't know why they did not pull the trigger on Mike Santana not winning the TNA World title. I like the way they got to the finish. I'll have that full recap with Chris later on in the afternoon, but I'm at the airport and I'm still trying to fathom and scratch my head on why Santana did not go over New York City. Don't give me the Cody Rhodes finishing the story or the chase is more exciting. Where I think TNA creative kind of botched the Mike Santana victory feel good moment in the UBS Arena. You had your largest show in North American history, over 8,000 plus, where this is Santana in his hometown. He was trying to redeem himself with that loss at the Performance Center to Trick Williams. And then, you know, I felt that Joe Henry was shoehorned in this whole situation. I think, I stand by what I'm going to say. I think Joe Henry should have wrestled Trick Williams immediately in Arizona, in Phoenix, against Alliance. And then that should have set up the bill for Mike Santana. I think the whole Slammiversary triple threat was built incorrectly. I'm gonna stand by my what I'm going to say. Look, Trick Williams is. I've seen Trick Williams from his 2.0 days coming in. Personally, at the Performance Center in Orlando, he's a hell of a great talent. He is very uber charismatic. He is he's really awesome. But now going forward, I need Trick Williams to start having one-on-one matches. No more triple threats. No more fatal four ways. I'm gonna make a. I'm gonna sit down with facts where Trick Williams only does is wrestle triple threats, fatal four ways. Where you could recently with Eddie Thorpe, Boba Fett, that fatal four way with Javon Evans, Ethan Page himself, and I forgot who was the other gentleman, in that fatal four way match. Too many multi-man matches in Trick Williams' resume. Makes you wonder: is it just a work that Trick sound music and carries charisma? Where Booker T gets him over with the oh yeah, which is great. I love that from Trick Williams. That's what you want with a superstar. You want that. Um, but when the bell rings, you're in. I need to see a one-on-one action. I think they missed the boat on Mike Santana. Maybe there's something bigger, and we all have as wrestling fans the right to reserve our thoughts if Mike turns around and they win how he wins it. But you're not going to capture that moment in New York City. It's Elmont, it's still Queens, it's part of the boroughs. You still had an opportunity to capture that moment, feel good moment with TNA in New York City, especially if you want to return and have a market in New York City where you're going to want people to turn out and support TNA. Possibly next time there are 9,000 people come out. But if you're going to give them that sour taste and that finish and send a lot of Puerto Rican Americans disgruntled or bothered, listen, I know that everyone wants to point to the Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, WrestleMania 39 night, but but it wasn't. Cody didn't lose that in his home in Atlanta. Cody lost in Los Angeles. This is Mike Santana's home territory. I thought that again the build was terrible. I don't know why Santana shoehorned Joe Hendry when he said, "Oh, you didn't put your rematch clause in Pittsburgh." I knew this whole card and the whole build was screwed, but I wanted to enjoy the ride. And it doesn't mean that I did not enjoy Slammiversary. I loved every minute that I covered TNA here for our channel. Me and Chris are going to have an extensive video talking about everything. I want to still come on real quick to talk about the main event, talk about how I'm still puzzled with it. It's still not sitting correctly with me, but we'll have a full report with Chris on our channel, Sports Jedi Network. I'm about to catch a flight back home to Orlando, Florida, which I'm dying to get back home. I'll be honest with you. New York City, my home city that I was doing it, but it was great. It was wonderful, but I just want to be in my comfort of my Jedi studios. Um, Don't forget, later on this afternoon, Chris will break down our trip. Once again, I want to say thank you to Ross Foreman for TNA Vice President and TNA President Carlos Silva. Got to meet and interact with them. They were so they when talk about when TNA put out the red carpet. They For anyone who was invited or part of the media or from met some all different kinds of content creators. Everyone was so hospitable, wonderful, great. From Amanda Fuentes, very awesome. Everyone from the TNA, from the TNA higher up, were class act. Keep up the great work. See, and I'm going to say that more on the video later on. For Carlos Silva being all over the arena was great, was phenomenal. Also saw AJ Styles, but the route and direction that they're going with the people in control of TNA, you gotta like their future. Now, booking decision, that's a whole different ballgame. They have their reasons, they have their moments. They don't have to explain it to us. We just got to see how it transpired for Mike Santana. I have a couple ideas what might be next for Mike Santana, but I think they're going to take care of Mike Santana eventually. I have an idea, and I'm going to talk with it with Chris for Mike. And I think, and then when I was thinking about it, why Mike did not win, here's real what I want to talk about. I think Mike didn't win this because there was no heels to beat on him. I don't think if he would have won in TNA right now, there's no heels to have a feud with Mike Santana right now. He already went through the system, which that should have been his build to Slammiversary. After he was done with the system, the prize was the world title, but they kind of took a sharp turn with Mustafa Ali. If you remember that angle with Mustafa Ali and the drinking angle with his friend, I think that's what he had after Mustafa, and then he had AJ Francis and he just got rid of all the most of the heels. He doesn't have any male heels yet to beat on Mike Santana because you always say, okay, Santana wins the title, what next? With Trick, there's still a lot of fresh opponents out there. Trick could have a feud, with Frankie Kazarian. He says, oh, you know what, I'm going to teach, Kazarian is one of those. If they want to go AJ Francis and turns on Trick trying to capture title or TNA title, there's so many fresh with Trick. There's still more new matchups. Steve Macklin, Jake something. There's still so many guys there where Santana's the more babyface, not a lot of heels to bring on him. So when I started thinking about it, I'm still puzzled. I'm starting to trying to make sense. I'm starting to see why they went that route. What next? You don't want to pigeon yourself in a shoehorn, but man, if you're looking at it the way I look at it, they really had an opportunity to capture some gold on TNA with fans and feel good restoration. But damn, they're in a good decision. But all in all, great show, great venue. UBS Arena was beautiful. That arena was awesome, beautiful arena, inside and outside, convenient to get out of from Cross Island Parkway. Right on there, as soon as I got out of the parking lot, right on the highway, it was so smooth. Transition, one of the better ones, just like the Nassau Coliseum, the Slapey. Back in the days when I used to go to see Monday Night Raw and SmackDown when I lived in New York, was also smooth to get on the front, you get on the LIE, boom, you're on your way home. And said on your way home, but that was so smooth. I really had a good time. Again, I want to say thank you again. I can't stop being my gratitude. Thanks to the team, the front office. They're doing great things. And this is the sports show. I got a flight to catch, and we will do a review podcast soon. So, may the sports be with you. See you next time. Man.